Hello, what it is, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. It's a wrap here, and we're here wrapping up what I read in March. Let's get into it. Oh, March, guys. March was hard. March was hard. I think I failed at my TBR. I didn't fail. I just didn't get to all the books in my TBR that I planned to, mainly because of time. Not saying that I won't get to them. It's just I didn't get to them in March. Okay, so this month I read a total of 5 books. Let me get into the books that I read this month, and most of them I did a review on. So the first book that I read this month that I finished, I guess, this month was Rootless by Krystle, Zara, Appiah. And people caught it in the review that it was average. Like, it didn't wow me, but I didn't hate it. Um, it was underwhelming because I think I expected more from it than what it gave me. Again, this story follows a couple from like when they met up until the point when their relationship falls apart. We meet them when their relationship is like, she just leaves this man with their child. But the real conflict in their relationship really starts when she is pregnant with their first child. And this book really looks at like motherhood, mental health, marriage, and it's giving slice of life, with some dramatics, but I really appreciated the deep dive that they took into their relationship. It was underwhelming because, again, I said in the review I did not really enjoy the ending. One, and then two, it was I think for a lot of people would be slow. It would be slow, but I don't mind slow if it's like building up into something at the end that's satisfying. And in the end, I wasn't satisfied. We did all that work, all that character development, and the ending gave us what it gave. The next book I read, I guess it was a lot of disappointing reads this month. Black Candle Woman by Diane Marie Brown. So this is another book that I was very excited for. One, because the cover is gorgeous. The cover is like beautiful, and I wanted the inside to match the beauty on the outside. But the book was just meh. Like, it didn't wow me. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't everything that it could have been. It wasn't given for me. And there was the relationship, like the romantic relationships in the book. It just was blah. It was blah. Like the woman, like, you would think it would be like some real endearing love, get some star-crossed lovers kind of stuff, because the men you fall in love with them and they die. Like, but instead the men were kind of like blah. Like, it wasn't a bad read. Like, I feel like there were people that would enjoy this. It just didn't wow me. Okay, the next book I read that I actually really enjoyed and gave the same rating as Black Candle Woman. But don't be fooled by the rating. I think this is a lot better of a book than Black Candle Woman was. And that is A Spell of Good Things by Ayobami Adebayo. Ayobami. When I tell you that I was in the beginning, I was about to drop it because the beginning is so slow. It's a lot of building of the story and the characters in like a little bit too long in the first 4 parts, first 2 parts, because it's split into 4 parts. And the first 2 parts were just slow. It was just slow. And while I was invested in the characters, at least while I get was necessary, I was invested in the characters by the end. If not for the fact that I was thinking, where's the story gonna go, I would have dropped it. But it's so well written. It's so beautiful. I think it's actually a beautiful book. Sad, very sad, but still beautiful nonetheless. And it touches on so many different topics and themes and does it in a way that is very, I want to say eloquent, elegant, but it's done in a way that doesn't feel preachy. All these themes is just them living their lives, and it's very much appropriate for the story of these people, if that makes sense. But either way, I gave it a 4 just because the beginning was so slow. But don't get that twisted. I still love this book. This is actually my favorite. This was the favorite book I read this month, and I should have known because when I said I was going to read this in my TBR, a lot of other, booktubers in the community were all like, this is their favorite. And when I read it, I completely understood why. Because I cried. I really felt for all the characters in the book, and Jacqueline Woodson just reads like a poem, but it's not a poem. Like, it was so good. If you and I feel like I can give a better description of the book now that I've read it. So Red as the Bone follows this family. So the granddaughter in the family, she's turning 16, and in her turning 16, the family all gives their their perspective, their story, um, of things that they've been through up until this point. So her mother was a teenage mom, and she had her, I believe, at 15. So she never really was able to wear the dress that she was supposed to wear to her sweet 16. So in that, they're all reflecting back about, the moment that she becomes pregnant, and the different trials and tribulations within their lives, and how that all connects into this day of the daughter turning 16. And it's so endearing because we also go past that day, but yeah, it's so good. Like, there's not much more I can say except for, like, read this book. I gave it a 5. I loved it. A book is good when you have no words. I have no words. Her mother's story, her father's story. I loved the way that the father and the grandfather were written in this book. Like, why did I wait so long to read this book? Why? And now I have to go get the book because I need a physical copy. Because I feel like all my 5 stars should be things that I always have in my life. The last book I have that I also didn't do a review on was Maame by Jessica George. Oh, I've been actually seeing this one all over Instagram, and not as much on TikTok, but yeah, mostly Instagram. I've been seeing a lot of. It's a very pretty color, so I get why. But I've been seeing this all over Instagram, and the description really spoke to me. It was giving Queenie-esque genre, like that Black coming of age kind of story, of women like in their mid-20s, early 30s, Black women. They all tend to work in like some type of media publishing type of career, and they're going through some type of internal relationship spiraling kind of trauma. And yeah, so I just decided to read this, and I really, the beginning I was skeptical. By the end, I actually really enjoyed it. And I think maybe it's just a pacing thing, because also I was like, wow, the beginning I think was too long. I think the beginning before she actually moves out, I felt like it was just a little bit too long, and maybe we didn't need all that. And when we get to the end, or we get into certain relationships, I was just like, do we really need all that? Like, I get why we're getting it, but there were just certain things that we touched on that I'm just all like, I wish we had shortened that so we could give more room for this. But I still love the ending. I still love the ending. And I'm thinking of, there's a couple books that fall into this like genres I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Queenie. I'm thinking of Luster. I'm thinking of Such a Fun Age is kind of, it's in there, but not really. I'm thinking of one more, but my mind is blank. Yinka, Where's Your Husband? Yeah, that remind me of this. And in that realm of, I don't even know what to call these kinds of books. While I do enjoy them, Maame, I enjoy the end of Maame. Maame is giving me a Yinka ending where it's like she comes into her voice, she finds her way. And I appreciated that. And also because Queenie, I was just like, Queenie girl. But I kind of understood where Maame was coming from, or Maddie is the character's name. I kind of understood where Maddie was coming from in terms of like the relationship with her parents, and why she's reacting to things the way that she's reacting to them. Also, she in the book there's this thing where she constantly like Google, which also I'm not gonna lie, I do that too. I'll be all like, how do I break up with? I like, especially I'll be on Reddit like, what happens if you get a ticket for two? Like, I'll Google and Reddit something with a quickness, but after a while it just became too much. Like, I just felt like maybe if I cut back maybe 2 or 3 of them, I made that room for more of something else, I would have enjoyed that. And I'm trying not to spoil the book, but yeah, I'm trying not to spoil the book. There's something I want to say, but I'm not gonna spoil this. I would still say read it. If you like Queenie, would you like this book? I feel like you wouldn't be mad at this book if you read Queenie. If you like Lester, you probably like this book, because I didn't really care for Lester. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But also in these books, especially in this one, near the end, not so much. And I guess maybe it was on purpose because like she's depressed, but there is some type of like emotional Kafka-esque. Kafka's not the right word. A metaphor, yeah. Like, it just seems like some emotional dissonance that I can't put my thumb on. And when I really figured it out, I probably shouldn't speak in a video about a thought that I haven't fully processed. But yeah, it just seemed like she was here present, but she was like not really present, if you get what I'm saying. And yeah, but I know I get why people like this book. I'm giving it like a 4. It's pushing on 4 for me, 4.5, because I really love the end. And there's one, Sam, I can do this. I loved Sam. I wanted more of Sam. This remind me of Inky Where's Your Husband, because I wanted more of Donovan. I wanted more of Sam. I like Sam, and in the end, I was like, see, Sam, and I was coming for her because it's the sex scenes are cringe. I'm just gonna put that out there. They're cringe, except for the very last one at the end. You're just all like, girl, and you keep telling herself she probably don't know no better. But then also, I'm mad that she was like these bad sex scenes she was putting on herself, like it was a her thing when it was definitely like a partner thing. And it was like, girl, you just are you that naive? Like. But then also, if this is like your first encounter, what do you really know what to say? But then also, I'm looking at the partners. I'm all like, y'all this old, and this is how y'all courting these girlies. Like, anyway, that's what I read for this month. Let me know if you read these books. We can actually, I'm gonna give. Okay, I'm just letting y'all know that there might be some spoilers in the comments, because if y'all start talking about Maame, I'm just gonna give y'all my full thoughts. Unfiltered. But let me know if you guys have read these books. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's continue that conversation. And until the next time, guys, deuces.